Hello everyone, today we're going to be talking about clinginess and children and experiencing motherhood in its totality. A mama in my private community, Bloom Sisters, sent out a message asking for help, for ideas on how to help her child not be so clingy and to help her child be able to play independently. And I thought this would be a great question to answer here on YouTube, because I get this question so much and because a lot of you want to know the same thing. You know, I have 5 kids. A lot of you want to know, how do you do all the things? How do you do your chores? How do you pay your bills? How do you work on the books you work on? How do you do all the stuff you do? How do you homeschool all the kids? What do you do with the little kids? And how do you keep them playing independently? How do you do it? And so first of all, I want to talk about how the mind of a child works so that you can understand that it is absolutely normal for a child to and under to be clingy to the mama. They don't see themselves as separate from you. They see themselves as an extension of you. In fact, they understand the world around them through you, through your emotions, through the way you look, through the way you respond to things. They look for you for those things. So they don't see themselves as a separate identity. And so it's a totally normal behavior, and I would be more concerned with a child that goes to a stranger very easily. I would be more concerned with a child that you met someone the first day and they want that stranger more than they want their mom. And I've seen this with children that are in daycares. I've seen this with children that are in foster care, children that are in orphanages. They go with anyone, and that's just what they do. They don't have that one specific strong bond with one adult, which is very unhealthy for a child. All children need to have a strong bond with at least one adult. So that is very, very important. And so just to give you an example about clinginess and how I respond to clinginess and how I do things. We went to a birthday party about 2 days ago, and there was a big bouncy house, a water slide, and my older kids ran to it right away and they wanted to play and be a part of it. My 2 youngest, though, they wanted to stay with us. I have a 2 and a 3-year-old, and they took a good look at the bouncy house and they decided, I don't want to play. I want to stay next to you guys, so they want to stay by us. And we said, you sure you don't want to try it? We can go in there with you if you want to. But they said no. And we were totally fine with that because we respect our children's intuition and we respect their need for safety. So sometimes children just don't feel safe to go out and play and do the other things that the older kids are doing. And so we were just fine with them sitting next to us. But the host, they wanted to have my children be involved. They felt bad that my little ones weren't playing in the bouncy house. And they kept offering things like, do you want us to bring you some toys outside? They were so nice, so nice. And then finally the dad, he's like, all right, here's my cell phone. I'll put a game on for you, to my boy, to my 3-year-old, because he really wanted my child to feel like good at the party. And I didn't have that need to be able to, I thought it was fine, but this is what we do as adults. We feel like children, they just can't sit next to us. They need to be entertained at all times, and that's not the case. In fact, the way that I deal with my children is that I integrate them into the very core of everything that I do. So whenever I'm cooking, the child's going to be next to me, probably playing with pots, with pans, with spoons, the little ones. From washing dishes, I usually have them there, washing dishes with me. If I am taking dishes out of the dishwasher, they'll be there helping me. If I'm folding laundry, they'll just come and be a part of the folding laundry experience. And I'll be there talking to them, they'll be talking to me, or they'll be playing on the side. If I'm homeschooling, I usually have a child on my lap or a child on my legs playing there. And it's just a part of motherhood. I have my children around me. I am a firm believer in connected parenting. And so I've talked about before that I don't believe that children should be placed in their own rooms when they're born, and I believe in co-sleeping, and I made a whole video on that. Maybe I'll link it below if you guys want to see more on that. But I believe in integrating our children in everything that we do. And in American society, children are looked at as a disturbance, as a an annoyance. If you go to other societies, children are integrated into everything that they do. So you'll see mamas wearing their babies on their back. They're in the fields collecting corn and their babies are on their back. If they're walking miles to go collect water, their babies are right next to them. Their children are right next to them. If they're weaving a basket, their children are part of it, or they're playing right there by the dirt right next to them. And so children are a very part of their society, and they're not looked at as a disturbance, as an annoyance. As a mom of 5, when I go out to the stores and to different restaurants, we always stand out, because when children are looked at as an annoyance in our society, and children are want to be put separate. The moment a child is born, they want to place a child in their own room, a little newborn, a little baby in their own room with a monitor, and that's what we call a dysfunctional society. And if you see animals in the wild, they don't have their babies outside of their nest. They have their babies in their nests. They have their babies in their dens. They have their babies wherever they live, in their shelter, right next to them, because that is what normal is. And when we try to separate our children, when you ask me, what do you do with your children? I don't understand that concept, because my children are part of everything that I do. And it's just the way that we view things. So for me, I want to experience motherhood to its fullest. And what is motherhood? Motherhood is everything, right? So motherhood is the babies crying, the sleepless nights, the messy homes, everything that comes with bringing up a child. That is motherhood. And I want to be able to experience that to its fullest. I don't want to separate myself to try to be more comfortable, to try to be independent from my children, because right now this is a season with littles, and that is all it is. It's a season. And you will hear empty nesters talk about how painful it is to hear nothing in their homes, to hear the silence, to experience the silence in their home, not see the mess anymore, to have children not need them anymore, to have their children just not be around anymore. It's just a short season. Children are only children for such a short period of time, and then they're adults for such a long, long time. So what I tell mothers is, try as best as you can to experience motherhood to its fullest. Love your babies. Just embrace them, integrate them into everything that you do. And independent play will come naturally, because independent play is natural for children. Children play naturally when their needs are filled, when their cups are filled. So every behavior is an expression of a need. So when you have children act out, have children cry, hunger. Is it hunger? Is it thirst? Is it need for connection? Is it a need for letting energy out? There's always a need behind every action that a child portrays. And so I wouldn't encourage you to push your child to go play with your friends, go play with your play date. Just let them be. Let them know that's an option. You can go play with your friends that are here, or you can stay next to me, and that's totally fine. And just to give you an example, when I only had one child, so she's now 10, she always wanted me to play with her a lot more than my other kids, because I think that as you have more kids, they entertain themselves and they teach each other how to play. Play is a skill. So you learn how to play, how to do things with the dolls, how to build towers. You learn those things. So when I had just one child, she demanded for me to play with her a lot more often. So I would come and I would show her how to do things new. Show your children how to play with their toys, because they might not know what to do with their toys. And so I would show her how to build a tower. Then I would say, okay, go ahead, you build it now. I'll be right back. And I'll just go do something in the kitchen. And I'll let her play, and I'll just come back and check on her, and I'll just keep showing her little things, and then have her try, and I'll go and come. And then I let my going extend a little longer every time. So she was playing more and more by herself. But don't really, expect your children to want to play by themselves for hours and hours. Children are going to play for a time, and then they're going to want to come back and connect with you. And that's totally, totally normal. So the toys that I'm going to recommend now, I just want to say, I don't have a system. I don't have like a special toy that is going to keep your child entertained and is going to give you what you need. I'm not going to be able to provide that for you guys, because real life is that children are going to play with something for some time and then they're going to walk away from it. And children are going to use their imaginations to play with whatever they want eventually. But I do encourage to have open-ended toys. So open-ended toys such as wooden blocks, magnetic blocks. They're another favorite in my home. Hard animals. So we have a huge basket of plastic animals that have been used since my firstborn was like 8 months. So it's been here for 10 years. Vehicles. Vehicles is another good one. It's another open-ended. And then just let kids play with whatever you have in your home. I mean, kids love playing with cardboard boxes, with your pots and pans, with your clothes, pretend with your clothes, with silks. And just let them use their imagination to play with whatever they have in their environment. My kids play outside a lot with dirt and mud and whatever's in nature and leaves and sticks. And I just let them play. And it's very important that when children are really into play, don't interrupt them. Let them play. Don't go over there and tell them, no, that's not how you play. This is the way you have to do it. Don't go and try to help them finish the puzzle. Don't go there and try to have them use a different crayon for coloring. Don't direct their play. Let them direct their own play. Because children, there's no wrong way of playing, and they have very active imaginations when they're little, and let them use their imaginations to play. And they might play with very unconventional things. They might play again with their pots and pans. With anything can turn into something of interest to them, and so just let them develop that. But I just want to say that, in conclusion, parenthood, motherhood is something that I want to experience in its fullest. I don't necessarily seek for comfort, seek for ways of separating and keeping my children in another room. I don't seek that, because that's not what my season is at the moment. I embrace my season at the moment. And so it's really important that you are bonding and connecting with your children. Children that are clingy beyond the age of 2, that are really, really clingy, most of the time, they actually need to fill their cups up more. They need more connection with mom and dad. They need to be able to feel a sense of safety. They're still living in that survival mode, and you have to figure out why. Why are you in survival mode right now? So spend about, even if it's just 20 minutes every morning, just filling those children's cup, reading to them, playing on the floor with them, singing to them, whatever it is, just enjoying your little babies, your little young ones. Again, they're going to be with you for such a short period compared to how it's going to be when they're gone from the nest. And so really enjoy your little ones. And I always think about that. My goal as a mother is not to seek comfort. It's to seek to serve these children, to love these children unconditionally, and to be able to stay peaceful when things are chaotic, when kids are clingy, when I'm having sleepless nights, this is motherhood, and I want to experience it to its fullest. I want to serve and love these children that have been given to me for a short period of time, because when they leave my nest, I don't want to say, I wish I would have played more. I wish I would have done this or that. I want to know that I lived it to its fullest. And how do I do that? By not seeking to separate myself from my children, by not seeking to be comfortable, to live the life that I lived before I was a mother. Because before I was a mother, I had a lot of time to myself, and I did a lot of things that I can't do right now in this season, and that is totally okay. I hope you've gotten something from this video and that it inspires a new type of loving on your kids and of experiencing motherhood to its fullest and integrating your children into your daily living. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe. I always post videos like this just about education, about motherhood, about all things homeschooling. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. And I'll see you